welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. Well, this is a major week that's going to set the stage for quite a long time, maybe even up to a year, but certainly the next 6 months, because on Tuesday, March the 8th, is a new moon solar eclipse. And an eclipse, there are 2 eclipses a year. They're about every 6 months. So this eclipse is certainly going to be influencing the world for at least the next 6 months. But if this solar eclipse should be within a couple degrees of a planet in your chart, the influences could be affecting you for up to a year. This solar eclipse is also going to be the harbinger of a lot of an economic slowdown and bringing up a lot of anxiety about our security. The reason is that this solar eclipse is going to be aligned with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer in mythology. And the eclipse is opposite expansive Jupiter, but in a 90-degree angle of this blocking energy to restricted Saturn. When Jupiter is in a 90-degree angle to Saturn, that's what we call a square. There's a restlessness, we're frustrated financially, there could be job changes, residential changes, because the Jupiter wants to expand, but the Saturn is contracting. The Jupiter has a lot to do with hope, freedom, money, and the Saturn can certainly be about business and corporations and economics. But the Saturn is more contracting energy, holding back the hopefulness of the Jupiter. And Jupiter is retrograde, delaying the benefits until into May of 2016. So we have this expansive Jupiter, but in retrograde, being restricted and held back by contracting Saturn, with all on the solar eclipse that is also aligned with Chiron. So it's triggering a lot of vulnerability. That's the Chiron. This is a time where we're going to really have to face a lot of fears and anxieties. So it is a very important energies. Now, if your birthday is around the 8th or the 9th, maybe even the 10th, if you're older, like over 50, then this would also indicate that over these next 3 to 6 months, that your life is moving into a whole new direction, sort of like coming to a crossroads in life. You certainly wouldn't want to be making any important economic decisions for at least a week from this Tuesday, March the 8th. By Thursday, Mercury, that decision-making planet, is going to be aligning with Neptune. On the positive, Mercury-Neptune is visionary, intuitive, imaginative, also empathetic and compassionate. But because of all this volatility and concern, that Neptune on the Mercury can have our thinking get distracted, get confused, be out of focus. So this is a very important week to stay centered, try to be as grounded as possible, that Pisces, the solar eclipse in Pisces, you can be overly emotional and reactive. And, and there's a lot of this economic fears that is for the world that is going to be strong over these next 6 months. And next month, Mars, that planet of activity and work, goes retrograde. So there could be a work slowdown and more unemployment in the world. But you need to see how this powerful energy, is it affecting your horoscope directly? Or is you're just seeing the economic slowdowns in the world? So there's, you don't want to make any rash decisions. You want to stay really centered and focused, and sleep on any important decisions before you make them. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week.